Happy Festivus, everyone. In the spirit of this unique holiday season where we air our grievances of the past year, I wanted to share with you my top 10 grievances. Number 10, Jamal Bowman. A former middle school principal, Jamal Bowman certainly knows the difference between a locked door and a fire alarm. In September, this clown pulled a fire alarm in an attempt to delay an official congressional proceeding and caused utter chaos on Capitol Hill. He claims it was a big mistake, except when you watch the video, it's clear it was intentional. He went to open a locked door, and when the door didn't open, he threw the signs on the ground, walked over to the fire alarm on the wall, and pulled it. He then proceeded to run past not one, not two, not three, not four, not five, not six, but 7 Capitol Hill police officers without saying a word. When he was finally questioned about it, he lawyered up and refused to cooperate. He ended up pleading guilty and paid a $1,000 fine and then was censured by Congress. Number 9, Governor Kathy Hochul. There is a reason New York leads the nation in outmigration. Hint, it has nothing to do with the weather and everything to do with New York's disastrous policies. Cashless bail, congestion pricing, the lack of a coherent energy policy, increasing spending by over $50 billion in just 3 years, the highest taxes and most burdensome regulations in the country, not to mention her quarantine camps. It's one disaster after the next. And what is Governor Hochul's solution? More of the same. I never thought in a million years I would say this, but she's even worse than Andrew Cuomo. We need a new governor in 2026. Number 8, partisanship. Politics has become blood sport, with each side looking for even the slightest advantage, no matter the cost. Let's face it, Washington could use a little more handshaking and a little less finger pointing. So I'll keep doing my part to try and forge a bipartisan path forward and work with colleagues from both parties to pass critical legislation. Speaking of which, number 7, the border crisis. Since Joe Biden took office, nearly 10 million migrants have crossed our southern border, many of them illegally, and it's only getting worse. Just last week, we had the highest number of border crossings in one day, over 14,000. House Republicans passed H.R. 2, the Secure the Border Act, months ago. Sadly, neither President Biden nor Senator Schumer have done one thing about it. It's time to act. We need to secure our border and fix our broken immigration system. It's really not that hard. Number 6, New York City Mayor Eric Adams, or Erdogan Adams as the Turks call him, and Bob Goldbars Menendez. I mean, really? As if foreign campaign donations weren't bad enough, who thought taking gold bars and hiding them in your closet was a bright idea? I get the feeling neither one of them are the brightest bulbs on the Christmas tree. Number 5, the disappearance of common sense. Sometimes it feels like common sense took a long vacation and forgot to come back. Take, for instance, the college presidents of Harvard, MIT, and UPenn, who couldn't answer a very simple question. Does calling for the genocide of Jews constitute harassment? Does it violate your code of conduct? Their answer? It depends on the context. There needs to be action associated with it. Seriously? Action? Like the actual killing of Jews? Common sense would say, yes, calling for the genocide of Jews is not only harassment, it's criminal. But apparently not at Harvard. Number 4, Mandere Jones. As a member of Congress, Mandere supported defunding the police, open borders, the Green New Deal, and increased spending by over $5 trillion, giving us record inflation and skyrocketing energy and grocery costs. He voted with AOC, Rashida Tlaib, and Jamal Bowman over 97% of the time. And when things got tough, he left the Hudson Valley to run for Congress in New York City, saying that he never felt more at home than he did in Brooklyn and Manhattan. Really? Worse yet, he shut down his district office months before his term expired, leaving residents without staff or a representative to call. Now he wants to come back, saying that democracy can't survive without him. Talk about a messianic complex. Number 3, everyone's favorite Jew-ish ex-Congressman, George Santos. Bye, George. Number 2, redistricting in New York. Last year, Democrats failed miserably in their attempts to gerrymander our maps. The Democrat-appointed Court of Appeals saw through their efforts and ruled the maps were unconstitutional and appointed a special master to draw a fair set of maps, which resulted in Republicans winning 11 of New York's 26 seats, delivering the House Republican majority. But New York Democrats, led by Kathy Hochul and Hakeem Jeffries, who profess to want to protect our democracy and put people over politics, are doing everything they can to undermine the will of the voters and are pushing to once again gerrymander New York's maps. Rather than run better candidates or have a better message, they resorted to stacking the courts and implementing heavy-handed changes to our election laws to get their desired outcome. As the old saying goes, if at first you don't succeed, try again. We will see what happens in the new year, but be rest assured, no matter how much they try to gerrymander my district, we will win next November. And number 1, Matt Gaetz is a Need I really say any more? From my family to yours, happy Festivus.